anarchism working in the past is everywhere if you read history. From a small community fighting back against tax collectors, to bigger, larger strikes like the coal miners' strike in 83, 84, to going back in, and I have to go to my country, the country I know, even during the Civil War, the diggers at St George's Hill, even some of what was called the levellers, all of those people practiced what you and I will call anarchism. You know, they shared their goods amongst each other. If you look at the big coal strike of 1983-84, you know, from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. And so when food and supplies are given out through the strike funds, if you're a family with 3 children, you get more than a single man. It's all sorted out and done and worked on. And yes, throughout history, there have been hundreds of examples of anarchy in practice. The big question is though, why have they never been sustained? Why have those ideas not been carried over into some type of, if you want, revolutionary permanence? Partly, I think, and I'm trying to answer myself, that I'm going to be no better than any of you listening to this. Partly, perhaps, because a lot of the times that anarchy comes to life is in times of conflict. And it's almost a defensive thing. You know, your solidarity with your comrades in the fight you're having means that you behave in certain ways. And those ways are intrinsically anarchy. If you lose that conflict, or even if you win it, people seem to abandon that strategy. And that seems to me a question that if we want a world that moves towards anarchy, we should be looking at and thinking about. But I think it's everywhere you look. I really do. If you say that anarchy is mutual aid, mutual support, helping each other, sharing, in times of contestation and struggle, standing by people, no leaders, no organisers who tell people what to do, people who've been quiet and shy suddenly stepping forward and taking leading roles, you know, changing the whole dynamic of their interpersonal relationships. How that stays, though, seems to me the question that we have to answer. Or why it doesn't stay is a question we need to answer if we wish to see anarchy being more than a sort of defence, a sort of conflict-specific struggle. What's fascinating to me is that all over the world, in all sorts of continents, with all sorts of cultural traditions, many people throughout history have adopted similar anarchic practices. And that seems to me a fascinating source of study as well.